Welcome to All Things Dairy. I'm Jim Carper, editor of Dairy Foods. Today we're talking about the dairy industry's involvement in a new anti-hunger campaign. Hunger can be an invisible issue, but it's very real for 1 in 6 Americans. That includes 16 million children. Food banks can't meet the demand for milk because it's rarely donated. Joining me today is Victor Zaborski of MilkPEP, the Milk Processor Education Program. Victor, welcome to All Things Dairy.
Thank you so much for having me.
MilkPEP is involved in a new campaign called the Great American Milk Drive to address hunger in the United States. Who are your partners in this effort?
We are so fortunate to be working with the leading food organization, Feeding America. They have more than 200 locations around the country. They're basically in every county in the United States, and they're really the experts on the hunger issue. And we're also working very closely with the National Dairy Council. We're really benefiting from their knowledge and experience. They started working with Feeding America about 2 years ago, really trying to educate on the need for nutrient-rich foods like milk and dairy in the diet of these food banks. And they really sort of did a lot of the groundwork. So it was really a great partnership for us to come in and start working together on this issue.
Tell me about the goals of the Great American Milk Drive.
Well, it really is about driving consumers to help provide fresh milk to those in need. You know, it's one of the most requested foods from the food banks and one of the least often donated. Of course, it's heavy to carry to a food bank. It's cumbersome. It's a fresh food, so it spoils. So it's very important that we find a new way to deliver that milk so consumers aren't necessarily responsible for carrying it to the food bank.
I heard an incredible statistic, which I don't think I have right. Families get 1 gallon of milk a year or less. Is that true?
It's one gallon of milk for every person, and of course you need about 68 gallons to meet your daily requirements. So there is a tremendous need. Feeding America helps more than 37 million Americans. So when you think about the size of that, you mentioned the 16 million children, 12 million families served by food banks. The need is really incredible and really powerful. And it's not something that we can solve alone. It's not something that the dairy industry can solve alone, or milk companies, or Feeding America. We really need to enlist the help of consumers to help fill that gap and help fill that need. And you talked about solving the hunger issue. It's really dual effect. We want to help solve the hunger issue, but we also want to help solve the nutrition issue. That gap between the food that they're getting through these feeding programs and the nutrition that's so critical to their families.
Okay. Well, tell me how milk processors and consumers can get fresh milk to Feeding America and its affiliates.
Well, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be asking consumers to donate online. So they can just go to MilkLife/give and donate $3, $5, $10 to help deliver much needed milk to those hungry families. And the nice thing is every dollar that's donated is going to go to deliver that milk to those hungry families. So we'll be collecting those dollars, we'll be distributing them as coupons that the food banks can give out. All of the dollars support local communities. So if you're, let's say in Chicago, you make a donation, those funds are going to go right to the Chicago Food Bank, which is a really nice and powerful message because people want to help people in their own community. The coupons go out, they're redeemed, and the people can go to any store, purchase any milk product, whatever is their personal choice. So it's really a great way to let people make their own decisions about the nutrition that they need in their own diet.
How can an individual milk processing company get involved in the Great American Milk Drive?
It's so important for processors and retailers to really get involved. We know that consumers are generous and they want to contribute when asked, but there's one of the easiest ways to really connect with consumers is through that retail checkout program or through programs where people will buy a gallon of milk for their family and another gallon of milk to put on a truck that goes directly to the food bank. So we have lots of tools and ways and information on milkpep.org for processors and retailers to learn about the program and really help get involved.
Okay, great. Well, the Milk Drive kicks off officially on April the 2nd. How are MilkPEP and its partners spreading the word about this campaign?
It is so important that we really spread the word. So we're doing it both through our trade partners like you to make sure that all the processors are aware of it. Our board of directors has gotten behind this in a very big way and making sure their communities are involved. And we're going to be actually hosting on April 2nd a live streaming of the launch. And so if you miss it, you can come back and see it. I think it's a great way to really dimensionalize the issue and the concern and hear right from the families that this is going to help, directly from Feeding America on the importance of this program.
This isn't a one-time short-term campaign, is it? It's
No.
a long-term.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's really important that this issue isn't going to be solved in 3 months, 6 months, or even a year. So it's something that we're looking at as a multi-year program. We have strong support throughout the year in 2014 with particular pulses around different opportunities. Summer, when kids are out of school and there's this heightened need for milk because they're not getting the nutrition that they get through the school feeding program. Back to school, when people really need to focus on powering their potential, and the fact that helping hungry families get the nutrition they need can do that. And then the holiday season, when it's really about giving. So please, absolutely, this is something that no matter where you are in the learning curve of this program, there's plenty of time to get involved and make sure that you're bringing this to your community and to your company.
Great. Well, congratulations on the initiative. I wish you much success. You've been listening to Victor Zaborski of MilkPEP, and that's it for this edition of All Things Dairy.
Thank you.
Thank you.